Hey guys, welcome back to Salem, Cellar. So a few months back, I did the trailer reaction to Dungeons and Dragons. The movie was released a few weeks ago, and I haven't really heard much about it, but I went this past weekend to check it out, and I want to talk to you guys about it with as minimal spoilers as possible. I know it's still in the theater, so I don't want to give too much away. I'll be right back. So Dungeons and Dragons was written and directed by Jonathan Goldstein. It's based off the very popular game Dungeons and Dragons. I personally have never played it. Now, this movie is PG-13. It is fantasy, comedy, adventure, everything you love in these types of movies. What it's about is a charming thief and a band of unlikely adventurers embark on an epic quest to retrieve a lost relic, but things go dangerously awry when they run into the wrong people. Now, this film is starring Justice Smith. I love Justice Smith, Michelle Rodriguez, Chris Pine. Hugh Grant is in it. Yes, I almost forgot Hugh Grant. The cast is stacked. I love the cast. And surprisingly, Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez worked so well together. I didn't really expect them to just have so much chemistry. They've really vibed off each other, and I really loved them together. I don't know. I went into it like, maybe they'll be good together, but they were really funny. You know, Michelle, Olga's her character. She was just like kind of the muscle of the team, and I loved her. I loved her in this film. I've become a fan of hers over the years, and Chris Pine was great. He was hysterical. The opening of the movie reminded me a lot of like Thor Ragnarok or like a Guardians of the Galaxy film, because it was funny. It was funny, and it just kept you like intrigued on what was going on. Now, I have never played the game. So I went into this movie with no knowledge of it whatsoever. Like, I've seen the trailer. I knew it looked funny. I thought it looked interesting. So I went to go see it. So I don't know anything about the game. So I don't know if you are a serious player of this game, if you're going to go into the movie and you're going to be like, okay, it didn't do my game justice. But for me personally, I really loved this film. I really loved it. It was hysterical. And there was enough action where I was entertained almost throughout the film. It starts off funny. It ends funny. You know, there's some predictability throughout. I felt like the ending was a little predictable. And it was very long, in my opinion. A little dragged out at times. But there is dungeons, there is dragons. Everything you expect in a Dungeons and Dragons movie. There's little tiny spoiler. There's a dragon in this film, and he is an obese dragon, and it was pretty funny because instead of like flying or going really fast, he was like rolling around. When you see the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But that was hysterical. The acting was really good. I had no issues with that. The action scenes were really good. I loved everybody together. It was a great group of people. Rating this film, I would give it an 8. This is definitely a movie that I would watch repeatedly. Like, I watched it in the theater and I came home and I kind of wanted to watch it again, you know? And I don't really get that often. You know, I'm into fantasy, I'm into comedies and stuff, but I never like crave them like I crave horror movies. Like horror movies, like I'll go see them and I'll want to come home and see it again. But it's never that way with comedy and fantasy type of films. But this film left me wanting more. Like, I legit left, I got home, and I wanted to watch it to, like, kind of fall asleep, too. Yeah, so that really means I really loved it. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. It was released a few weeks ago, and I heard nothing about it. Literally, I felt like nobody was talking about this movie, which is usually not a good sign. But I'm like, I still want to see it. It looks like a lot of fun. I enjoyed the trailer. Let me just watch it and just, you know, make my own opinion about it. And I'm so happy I did. I am so happy I did. Like, my only complaint that I was a little long, but besides that, I really loved it. If you haven't seen it, I definitely think you should check it out. Again, I'm not a player of the game. I don't know anything about this game. So, you know, players might just think this is terrible, but I thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome. I would definitely own it and see it again. Another little cool fact about this movie: All the spells used in the film, while largely unnamed, are spells used in the Dungeons and Dragons pen and paper RPG. So I'm sure that's something that you Dungeons and Dragons fans could appreciate. This film is PG-13, so you can take the kids to go see it. Take the whole family. It is a good, fun time. It's a good, wholesome, fun time. I'm hoping that there's a sequel to this if it does really well, so we just get more Chris Pine, more Justice Smith, more Michelle Rodriguez, and more fun. I loved it. I loved it. So overall, a great time for people who love fantasy, adventure movies, and who are fans of Dungeons and Dragons. Comment down below. Let me know if you've seen this movie or if you plan on seeing this movie. Again, I do recommend it. I did love it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be right back.